Okay, my name is Melissa Nini Nolledo. My pronouns are she, her. I am the photographer of this 2022-23 Illumination project.
I'm Aimee Yogie. I am a Springfield resident of 45 years, and I was asked to help lead the Illumination project with the contacts I know from the Asian American community.
My name is Ofelia Guzman, and I am a photographer here in Springfield, Oregon.
I'm Thomas Hiura. I was the story collector for this year, so I interviewed a lot of folks in the Asian American community, and it was a blast.
My name is Johanis, Tadeo. My connection with the Illumination project was I had the opportunity to record 6 or 5 different stories from the Latinx community in here in Springfield, and I had the opportunity to be able to hear their stories that were a lot similar to me. It was an opportunity to be able to hear from a lot of the folks that feel like they are not voiced or heard. So it was really, really nice to be able to take part with that.
I'm Maddie McGraw, and I'm the curator at the Springfield History Museum.
I'm Mindy Linder. I'm the community engagement specialist here at the museum.
Why do you think a project like this is important?
Well, for me, it goes back to the museums that I've worked in. And, you know, I've worked in a couple different small history museums, and our collections just don't always reflect the reality of who lives here and who has lived here. And that's one of the things that I've noticed about this place is, you know, we have an amazing collection, but it's very specifically made to focus on the settler narrative and the pioneers and the people who directly came after that, because the museum was made by those people's, you know, kids and grandkids. So there were so many different stories that we didn't get to see. And so a project like this is, you know, this was a way to get to see those stories.
Well, the community is so small. We normally don't see these type of events here, at least since I've been here. I've been here for 9 years, and this is the very first time that I see such a project with the focus of bringing the community together as one.
We interviewed some amazing community members, and they were so diverse, and their stories they needed to be shared. Well, now my favorite spot is this museum, Springfield History Museum.
I think my favorite thing about Springfield is the underdog kind of attitude. Being the city of the Simpsons, always in that show being looked down on a little bit by Shelbyville. I think some of the most amazing parts of Lane County are right here in Springfield. And I think that when you look at the athletics, the arts, the history museum, so many different really well-functioning public spaces that are inclusive, accessible to so many parts of the community, there's more to be done to make sure everybody feels like this is a place that's livable and exciting. But I often envy the attitude that Springfielders have, that there's a real sense of closeness that sometimes you don't feel in slightly bigger cities.
We used the photographs that Ofelia took of each of the participants to highlight in our promotional pieces. And so Rosalba, who works right across the street from the museum in Erika's Meat Market, she was our poster girl for for the first opening images of Illumination, and that actually helped us like define sort of the brand and look. Really was this beautiful picture of her just like owning it in front of this mural in this Food for Lane County garden, where she has a patch that she tends and uses in her amazing food, which you've got to have for tacos. They're unbelievable, mind-blowing. But so seeing her face everywhere as like the poster child of the exhibit was really cool. And then later, because we wanted to change it throughout to give everybody an opportunity. So Johannis's mom was later on one of the posters and some of the flyers, and she'd come into the library and she'd see herself on the wall and, you know, be a little embarrassed, but also, you know, kind of excited and giddy about it. And that was just really special.
And the person is Ada Lee, who is legendary. She, from what I know, she is the person who was the generator of the Asian American community, the Asian celebration, the Asian Council. All of that is because she wanted that for her family, for her children, for the community and the community's future generations. She wanted that. And the rest of us kind of jumped on board, and she had a story she wanted to tell. And I offered if it would be possible to do an interview with Thomas, interviewing her, and Mimi taking photographs. She didn't know Thomas, but I assured them that is a longtime resident, very respectful of his elders, and just a wonderful person to interview with. She would be very, very supportive. So we gathered at her home, and Thomas was very good about sitting next to her and asking her the history of how she came to Eugene and their first restaurant. And that story about the first restaurant, working so hard with her husband to just the two of them in that little restaurant, and one day receiving the deed to that restaurant because the landlord had died, and she wanted them to have it paid in full and to continue to take care of the community.
I didn't even know that they were hidden gems, I guess you could say, in those pockets. I thought everybody knew about them. But really being able to shed light in those places, because like for me, I never knew about a temazcal, which is basically a sweat lodge. You know, for I can be able to cleanse, feel closer to the Creator, be able to work on the areas that unfortunately life doesn't give you enough space to carve out. And that was basically my reality check. And I feel like being able to meet a lot of these elders, Anita Rojas, which was one of the persons that I interviewed, you know, a lot of those folks like that, I grew up in that little pocket. So I feel like I haven't really explored so much of Springfield, but in those pockets, what's beautiful is the storytelling, you know, the projects that they want to create, even in their little space. Like Anita Rojas, her place is basically like Aslan to me. It's like a big giant healing space. You know, as soon as you walk in, it's like everything's at the door, the plants, things like that. The first day that I met her, she had me and her son. We were digging some stuff, and that's like to be able to put plants and sage and a bunch of other stuff that I never thought I would be doing. The first day I thought I was going to be being taught by like just words. No, I've learned, at least in my community, the way that you're taught is by doing. And you're getting the story as you're, you know, preparing the tamales or the masa, the tortillas. And I feel like those stories and those experiences are what make me love and feel connected to Springfield.
Well, your photos were amazing.
And the subjects were amazing, and the team was amazing. So that is something I will always cherish, you know, profoundly cherish. So
Yeah, we'll keep it up. We're going to keep moving this in the right direction, I think.
okay, thanks.
Awesome.
Okay, cut.
Cool. Yeah.